Does it say you're recording? Oh,
Yeah, you're good.
It is Brien. I'm in round one. After the gambling challenge, and my team won, even though I fucking flopped so bad. I had practiced enough to where I thought I was gonna be able to do it, but when the time came, it's just like so much pressure came on me. I felt like Caitlin from Big Brother. I think that was 20, and I was just like felt so disappointed in myself. But I was happy to hear. My initial reaction was to be happy that when Kendall and Josh didn't get it as well, I was like, okay, even if we lose, I'm not gonna be an initial target. We're not gonna be like, I might be a target, but like I'm not gonna be the only one who didn't do it. And also, the other team had 3 people mess up as well, which doesn't make me feel as bad. But looking at this cast, I do feel like I know 1/3 of them prior to this game. Besides, like, there's 18, I probably know like 6. I've played the same game with Kendall and Tyler. I played 1984 with them. Julian's hosted me before. I never played with him though. Tawny's played with. I played with her. Same thing with Chloe. I played with her. So that's about some people I know. But there's also some new folks that I like that I just met. Like Jack, I really like. Ray Ann, I really like. Christopher's really nice. If I had to take a guess based on the teams, like I really hope Caleb's out like this round. He's kind of awkward from what I got. He is going to elimination, and I do think that like he's not going to gel. His video even sketched me out. He's like, "I'm going to be a wild card." I'm like, "What? Do you know that this is being sent to all the fellow players?" Because Prod made that clear. But I'm excited for this game to start. I'm excited that I'm not first boot, and now that I'm not officially first boot, we can go and play this game a little bit harder. I already made a 3-person group of myself, Tyler, and Julian, we were on the same team. We won, but I intended to work with them and vote with them had we lost, and I think they would have done the same. So I'm intent on sticking with them at least for like the first 4 or 5 rounds. Even if we're not on the same team, I will look out for them and give them information, and I hope they'll do the same with me. Because I'll be loyal to them until they aren't loyal to me, until I find out that they are not loyal to me. Um, just trying to take it day by day. Really trying to work on my personal relationships. The call went on for a long time yesterday, and people like Lauren and Alex shown that they are good at challenges. And I think it was Jen on the other team that got first over there, and people are showing that they're good at challenges. I think that like I'm already not a challenge threat, but I need to show that I can do something so that I can be beneficial in the teams, or people will start to be like later down the road, like Brian's not good in competitions, let's get him out while still a team game. But if I can squeak by with the low competition resume until like the individual game, then it might make my threat level low, which that's later down the line, but I'm still thinking about that. I do find this gambling vote interesting. I don't think I'm gonna do it that like the first round that I vote, but like Julian brought up to me is like might as well get it out like on the easy votes. But I was thinking like if everyone's thinking that way, the first vote might end up being 3-0, 2-1, something like that. And it's gonna be interesting to see how many people on the other team gamble their votes. If I had to make a guess, Andrew is probably gonna gamble his vote because like what's he have to lose? He's immune and no one will know it's him. But like, I'm on to him. He seems like the player that would do that, the type of player that would do that. And I do think there'll be a couple other people gambling their votes, and it's gonna be dangerous. But I'm gonna keep my word. I'm gonna tell people. I don't know if I'm gonna be honest with my gambling vote yet, but I'm not gonna do it the first round that I go to vote because that'll be so crucial. Um, yeah, these twists are interesting. Question, JG, are the poker chips exchangeable?
I don't know, so we would have to ask Matthew, and Nicole.
Oh, because Julian brought up the idea to me that like we could all like pool our chips, 5 people that we trusted or whatever, a couple people, and to get the advantages that lie beneath. But like, I don't know how I feel about that, but it's interesting to think about if that's like if they are transferable. I'll ask them when we have to call. But I think that's all I have to say for right now, and nothing's really happening. I have an easy round, like because I'm immune, obviously. But like, so I'm not gonna scramble. I'm not gonna try to influence other teams' vote because like I'm not there. I'm not trying to be that cracked and paint a target on myself for round 2. Any questions?
Yes. So, who would you say right now you trust the most? And then on the other side, who do you think you trust the least?
The person I trust the most would probably be Tawny or like Tyler, but like I know Tony has Chloe close to her. They're like friends, so that's scary. But like I got to see how their eliminations go on that team. But I trust Tony. I want to work with her. I hope she can trust me to make it far in this game together. And same goes for Tyler. But I think that like he was a little mad at me the last game he played. He got sixth, and I. But I think we mend our fences. I want to mend our fences. I want to work with him, and I hope he doesn't target me based on previous game because I'm not doing that with him. And the people I'm least closest with, the people I'm like don't trust the most. Rayanne hasn't given me this vibe, but like other people brought up to me on call that they feel like sketched out by Rayanne. So I obviously agreed on call with the individuals. I think Julian said it was one, and Tyler said the other, and someone else might have said it as well. But the Rayanne sketched them out, and it's like that's interesting. But like no one I distrust yet. Caleb seems sketchy, but like no one has crossed me yet. But I'm sure there are like sketchy people. I know Matthew on the other team is going to be here to play. His intro video showed that, and he's a character, and I'm excited to like work with him potentially or work against him.
Okay. Who would you think right now, seeing what you've seen so far, I know you've said it's been a little bit more laid back. Who do you think is the biggest threat to win right now?
um, Probably Alex because he did the best in the challenge.
Okay. We actually do have some questions from the VL, which is lovely. You won't know who it is, but they do have some questions. Um, Are you so one of the questions is, are you searching for any powers, and do you feel okay not having any if you don't have any, which you don't? Um, so that's the question from one of the questions from the VL.
I am like searching for powers. I searched on the pro boards for a little bit and found up with nothing. I thought maybe you would hide something there. Maybe you still have. I just haven't found it. But I am searching. But I'm fine with not having any powers at the moment. It's round one. I'm not vulnerable, but like I will keep into account, keep my ear to the ground to see if anyone else eventually will have powers in this game because they are going to come out. But I'm fine with not having one right now because if anyone has one, it's just like one or two people, and that's not scary in a 19-person cast.
Okay. Another question from the VL. Is there any person that you think you need to make a connection with that you haven't yet?
Let me look at this cast. Jen is one of them. There's a couple people. Jen, Drew, Erica, Nolan. They're like the few. Everyone else I think I have a connection with.
Okay. And one final question from the VL. Excuse me. They said, since you could talk to anybody, are you focusing more on your teammates or everybody as a whole, since the teams do change from round to round?
I'm focusing on my team at the moment, and when the next team comes, I'll focus on them. But I know it might not be the best strategy. I'm still sprinkling a little bit of sociability with the other team, but like, especially after we won the challenge, I decided to be more social with the other team, or try to be. But like, I gotta prioritize my team because ultimately they're the ones that could vote me out at the end of the day.
Okay. And that's all from the VL. One final question for me. So moving into the next round, there will be a competition for the high roller, where you will have the opportunity to pick the teams. Is that something that you're interested in going for? What's your strategy with that? And if you were to go for it, what would your strategy be with making teams?
I am going for that challenge. I do want it, and my strategy would be to like make the teams even. So I'm not. And it'd be interesting. I would have to think about that because I'm not expecting that based on my competition prowess so far in the game. But I would like to win it, and I'm going to try to.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Is there any other final thoughts, any final things you want to say before we stop the recording?
No, but thank you for doing this, JG.
Of course. All right.